I want to take this time to thank you guys for allowing us this interview. Mr. Carter, there are a lot of concerns in the community regarding the Liberians in St. Paul forming a new organization. Will you care to tell us a little bit about that organization?
The idea of the formation of LCM was born out of the desire, the passionate desire of Liberians in St. Paul to seek the common good and to provide basic social services for residents of St. Paul. Also, the idea is born out of the fact that since the formation of OLM, that were purported to have been an organization for all Liberians here in Minnesota. Unfortunately, the residents of St. Paul and its environment has been excluded.
Why do you decide at this time to organize this organization?
The idea of the formation of this organization started many years ago. I can remember vividly when I came sojourn in the state of St. Paul, state of Minnesota. There was an attempt made on numerous occasions to organize residents of St. Paul and went into their own organization and their own grouping. Unfortunately, some of us were of the opinion that we must give the leadership, the then Wilfred Harris leadership, George Wood, Wilfred Harris, subsequently Martha Sano, because these previous leadership made some effort, even though they were very minute, but they made some effort in terms of incorporating the residents of St. Paul into the OLM structure. Unfortunately, that did not succeed. After the last elections, we still felt that there was hope. But we have begun to get signals and we began to see that the current administration of OLM lacks the political will, the goodwill and whatnot to extend OLM beyond their own little, environment, among their own little, consideration. So we decided, after numerous appeals from our people, broad spectrum of our people across the aisle, asking us that what are the people of St. Paul doing? The people of St. Paul need assistance. The people of St. Paul, they need to get involved. They need to be governors. We decided to organize ourselves, not as a rival organization, but as an organization to provide an alternative for our people. I'm the vice chair of the organizing committee of the LCM.
Thank you very much. My chairman has said it all. I would just add to what he said and buttress everything that he just said. Like he rightly said, the LCM is not a rival to OLM. We saw a vacuum that our people that live in the St. Paul area, the greater St. Paul area, and when I say the greater St. Paul areas, these are areas that incorporate St. Paul and the suburbs of St. Paul. We decided that we have been left out, so we came to the conclusion that we need to organize ourselves, to provide, the needed support to our people in this part of the state or the Twin Cities. So we don't intend to be a rival organization. We will open our hands to OLM. We will listen to whatsoever good advices that they can give us because they are an old organization. But we just feel that we should provide an alternative, as the chairman rightly said. There are services out there that our people deserve, and there is no one in the Liberian community that is seeking their interest. So we decided that we should step in to fill that vacuum, to support our people.
Is this organization going to be operating autonomously, independent of the broader organization of Liberians that we have in Minnesota?
Let me dispel first a misconception that I see permeating the community that, you know, by virtue of the fact that you are Liberian, automatically you are a member of OLM. That's not true. To be a member of OLM, being a not-for-profit organization, you must subscribe to the rules and regulations, the bylaw and constitution. You must be a due-paying member. So, having said that, LCM is a distinct organization separate from OLM. LCM has its own, has its own bylaw and constitution. We have been certified by the state, incorporated by the state as an organization, as an entity, and whatnot, a separate entity. So we think that as another organization being formed and whatnot in the state of Minnesota by Liberians, we think that is an opportunity for us to unite our community, because our community is not united. We got almost 30,000 Liberians here in the state of Minnesota. Look at OLM roster. You will find that only about 1,000, where there were 29,000. These people are not involved because OLM have failed over the years to reach out to these people.
Excuse me, Nakata, other people look at it differently when you talk about uniting this community. Don't you think it's going to deepen the already fragile condition of the community, the diversity that you see in the community?
Well, I don't foresee it that way. I'll be honest with you. And if I thought that what we are doing will form the basic of fragmenting and disintegrating our community and driving a wedge and whatnot in our community, I wouldn't be doing it in the first place. But I'm convinced beyond all unreasonable doubt that the effort that we have embarked upon is going to be a format for unifying this community.
What is this organization's position with respect to the ULA?
To ULA, most of these organizations, Liberian organizations, have been in existence in the diaspora for a long time, but have not been able to deliver. ULA needs a soul session, and we are going to look at ULA very critically. We're going to give advices. We're going to keep the feet of ULA, the leadership. We're going to keep their feet to the fire to make sure that things happen. Look, let me tell you something. We can be a force for positive change back home. And ULA has not been a force for positive change, and at the appropriate time, we will look at ULA critically.
Other people are saying, because Mr. Carter and Mr. Cotton George, they lost the election. That's why they decided to go independent. And why they decided to form their own organization. They are saying that for a community like this, that shouldn't be the way to go. What's your response to that?
Let me state emphatically that the formation of this thing, Mr. George, has nothing to do with it. I have not discussed anything concerning it. That's why you see I have invited Mr. George here as one of the several opinion leaders in the community for us to discuss and whether to pick their opinion on what direction do we go. Mr. George had absolutely nothing. He had absolutely nothing to do with losing the elections. After Mr. Carpenter won the elections, I was one of the first person that called him and offered my unflinching commitment to work with him to move our community forward. But Mr. Doyen, because of his own consideration, because of his own political orientation, he refused and whatnot to even reach out, check his team, the composition of his team. There isn't one person from St. Paul or any of his committee. Go and do that background. He has excluded us completely. So we must wait until at whose time we go from bad to worse. We are coming in now because we have needs. Nobody reaching out to our people who have needs in St. Paul. And we want to be there to serve those needs.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome. You are most welcome.